Hi, I'm Peter.
And I'm Cadmia.
Welcome to the This and That Chat.
I forgot what the song sounds like.
And you still don't have headphones?
And I still don't have headphones.
Hi, welcome to the This and That Chat, where we chat about this and that. And I'm this, and Ketmia is that.
And why do you say that?
And I'm sounding like Dr. Seuss.
And why do you say that?
Because our little hiatus of the show has created a void in our week because we just have been so extremely busy and tired, and there has been so much that has been going on that, unfortunately, the chat is what suffered. But we're back.
We were on a break.
We were on a break. But,
I was asking, why do you say that you're this and I'm that?
I didn't finish.
Oh, okay.
So,
right.
As you can see, we're still the same. We're the Roadrunners and...
Oh.
and yeah. So, anyways. So, I have received a couple voice memos from Ketmia, who has sent them to me just so that we can catch up on our day, because that's how busy it is. We have to send each other voice memos because sometimes we miss each other's phone calls and time to talk is limited. So I get these voice memos from Ketmia, and she goes, "Welcome to the This and That Chat, where it's just that and this is missing." Isn't that what you said? How is it you said it? Hold on. Shall I play the beginning of it?
Yes.
Hold on. I'm go start talking while I find it.
Oh man, I don't want to spoil it because I've sent you a couple and they both start the same.
How do I
way.
find that?
I don't know if you saved it.
I did, but we send so many messages.
But
to
it's
each
like,
other.
hey, welcome to the That Chat, where this is missing and that is lonely.
Here we go.
Welcome to the That Chat, where this is done and that is still very lonely. On today's episode.
Hold on, I'm gonna play it again because I put it on the wrong side of the mic.
I said this is gone.
Hold on, here we go. Hold on.
Welcome to the That Chat, where this is gone and that is still very lonely.
So
it's a mini episode. It's like 1 to 2 minutes long.
Yeah, hold on. I wonder if I can find
the original one.
Yeah, the original one.
Yeah, you saved it.
I've saved them because they're hilarious.
And it's just me giving like a snippet of something that happened, one thing out of the many things that happened in the day.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see it here.
But you have really enjoyed getting that, huh?
Yes, they are funny. They are quite enjoyable. Yeah, I know. Oh, wait, hold on.
Welcome to the That Chat, where this is missing and that is lonely.
I'm your host.
Oh boy! So those have been these little voice memos that I'm getting from Katmia. She records them, I guess, while she's driving to school
or home
or driving home or whatever, and they've been enjoyable to hear because it's just catching up on the day, stuff that happened to her and whatever. But her opening has been hilarious.
And I think that in one of our previous episodes, if not several, there was a comment that was made by either one of us, like, what would happen if we ever got divorced? What it would become like the That Chat or the This Chat.
Yeah.
So we assumed a word for each of us. So I thought it was appropriate. But I've actually missed this a lot. And I think that, I mean, even recording today was not planned. It's like I'm getting surprised with this. It was completely unexpected because I've been saying to you how much I've missed doing this. And it's because our time in general has become so filled with separate lives that the coming together part already before was, you know,
It was difficult.
it was tight.
It was limited.
It was limited, but
And now
now
it's like non-existent.
right, and so to me, stopping for the hour that it takes to record this, or 30 minutes, like that is a luxury that we do not have anymore. And that gives us like a stop.
So should we give a Cliff Notes version of
A recap?
everything that has happened in the last few months?
Yeah, and I don't even remember when was our last episode, so I don't remember where we were.
So I think a good spot to start might be where Nikki moved to
And I remember doing an
Orlando.
episode about that.
So I think we talked about it, but it hadn't happened yet. Maybe
No.
maybe I'm wrong.
No, I think we did one after because I talked about how hard it was for me afterwards. So,
So I feel it almost feels like we became empty nesters,
yeah,
and then we kind of filled space
yeah.
with the extra time that we had for stuff that we're doing.
Right.
Plus, you went into clinicals, which I thought was going to be an easier time, but in reality, it was like you going to full-time twice because you had all your clinicals, you're working 40 hours a week, and then you had to come home and study because you still had
School. So it's like I'm doing school full time and working full time.
Yeah, and those 2 months were absolutely crazy. So Nikki leaves to school. She moves up to Orlando with our son. We become empty nesters. You go into double full time. The business, thank God, has been what it's been because
It's booming.
it's booming.
But it's also your busy season regardless.
Right. It's regardless. On top of everything, it's my busy season, and then we're busy on top of it.
Right.
My crew has almost doubled because of the amount of work that's been coming in.
I just realized something.
What?
It's like we went through growing
Meep, meep.
pains.
Did
Did you hear that?
Yes.
There's growth happening in your business, in my future, my life, all that stuff, in us becoming empty nesters, but it isn't without pain.
Mm-hmm.
Why did the term growing pains get said? Like, what's the background on that?
I'm
That's
sure
something
that,
I need to
I'm
look
sure
up.
That's you're probably right in the vicinity of it.
Wow. It's when there's a phrase that has been around forever and ever, and then all of a sudden you relate to it.
Oh, I can't. Never mind. I was gonna share something. I can't share it on here
Ooh, why?
because it was an origin of a phrase. You're gonna have to remind me later so that I can share it. I can't share it on here.
So I wrote something
Okay.
in all of this missing time.
Okay.
That it was like one of those moments where it was like I had a moment like that, driving to school and listening to a song, and I had a thought that I was like, it blew my mind. Okay. And I said, when you're happy, you enjoy music, right? But when you're sad, you understand the lyrics.
Okay.
And there was a song that I was listening to that I love. It's a good song. It has a good beat and all that stuff to it. It's just a nice song. That's what it would be normally. But in that moment, it was everything. That it was like, this song understands me right now, you know? So it was just one of those thoughts that I was like, wow.
Your thought has triggered a dad joke memory.
Okay.
So, Sylvester Stallone, Jean-Claude Van Damme, and Arnold Schwarzenegger are in a meeting, and they're talking about wanting to make a movie about the greatest composers around. And Sylvester Stallone says, "I'll be Mozart," and Jean-Claude Van Damme says, "I'll be Tchaikovsky." And Arnold Schwarzenegger looks at him and says, "I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it." Do you know what they wanted him to say? Go ahead.
I'll be Bach.
I'll be Bach.
I have one for you.
Okay, go.
What's the plural of tank?
Tanks.
You're welcome.
So stupid. I'm so stupid. Why did I fall for that?
Oh my gosh, that was so good. Did you do that on purpose?
No, I feel stupid now.
Stop.
Oh my god.
You have to do that to Mike. You have to do that to Nick.
Okay.
But it has to be speaking to them. Because when you type it out, they know.
That's horrible.
That's so funny. That's stolen from the Dad Joke Encyclopedia, I'm sure.
Yeah. Okay, so where were we?
The whole everything that's gone on.
Yes, so hold on. So you're in clinicals, full-time double. I'm like, go. So many people, everything going crazy. Then, on top of everything else, okay, my mom gets a hip replacement somewhere in between of this thing, okay? And to make a long story short, she gets an infection at the joint. So at the titanium joints, where there is no flesh, there is no blood, there is nothing there, and there's no way at all to treat this infection except for her to have a major operation, which essentially requires for my parents to move in with us for the foreseeable future.
Until the replacement can be replaced.
Until the replacement can be replaced.
Because it had to be taken out.
Yeah, so they took it out and they put this like a spacer thing just to kind of hold her leg in place. As she is recuperating from the infection to then be able to get another hip replacement.
And context, your parents don't live
right
in this city.
Right, yeah.
They live
my parents,
they're
3.5 hours north.
But their doctor is here.
Right.
So it's not like they can, if that had been over there, they'd be fine.
Right.
In their house.
Yeah, so then so we kind of started to adapt to being empty nesters, right? And we kind of had our little routine and all that kind of stuff in the house, and the way we were making dinner, the way we were, just everything the way that it was happening. And now we have my parents living in the house, which we are so grateful that we have the space to be able to do this.
It's the perfect timing.
It's the perfect timing to be able to do it.
In like where we have no kids at home.
Right. Right, because I think it would have been really hard if the kids were home.
Yeah. Even though we have a very spacious house, I think everyone would have.
It would have been a lot.
Right. Yeah.
If Mike was home and Nick was home, and then my parents were also here, I think it would have been really, really hard because we had to like move furniture.
Yeah.
We had there was stuff that we had to adjust and change in the house.
Yes, our house has been what's it called? It's not
upended.
No. Like I'm looking. You know when they create a space where a handicapped person can have like a ramp, it's been modified.
Yes.
So it's been modified.
Yeah, because my mom has to walk with a walker.
And initially she came in with a wheelchair.
Yeah, it was So the good thing in this is we found out that when we're old, we'll be okay.
Yeah.
There's plenty of way to get around.
Yeah.
We just won't be able to come in the movie room. We can put a ramp.
We could put a ramp.
Boom.
Problem solved.
We're good.
We may need a ramp up the
front, yeah.
Yeah, up the front too,
Anyways,
but it's one of those things where I feel like it's been a lot of little things that have happened, right? That alone, it's not impactful or significant or noteworthy at all. Together, it's like you're raising the pressure in a pressure cooker, and then now you've got it like at full blast.
Yeah,
And you thought you were just simmering. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it got to the point where it almost caught us completely off guard.
But that's what I'm saying, because it was just, like we were, like you said, we were experiencing the newness of empty nesting, which I gotta say, everything I thought I was going to experience during empty nesting, not at all. Empty nesting took me by surprise. Okay, so then I was dealing with that still. And then finally, all of a sudden, it was like one day you wake up, because I had a really hard time with it. One day you wake up, and all of a sudden you're like, I love my life.
Yeah, it's like, ooh, this is cool.
I love my life. And it's something that it was like Wednesday, it was like a party because the weekend's coming, and we're going to have the weekend together. And
yeah, and we have like our routine for the weekend. Like, we'd get up in the morning, we'd go have breakfast, we ran a couple errands, we would come home, and we already were in this normal routine for us. Mm-hmm. And it was great. It was great. And when all these little things created this pressure cooker for us, it affected us. It affected me and kept me out. Like, it was like a oh shit moment. I said it again.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Yep. It was an oh shoot moment. And it was really like, oh shoot. So we had to, and we had a couple weeks where we had to readjust so that we could refigure it out. And it wasn't that it wasn't there before, but it was so far in the background in its own pressure cooker that we hadn't met with that monster yet. And it's not, it's not like we're gonna I'm not saying like we were hating on each other. It was the new norm of Ketmia in her.
Yeah, not hating on each other, but I feel like we lost sight of each other.
Yeah, because we were
somehow
in
all of this.
Well, like you said, we were running parallel races, mm-hmm. 2 different races, but we were right next to each other, close enough to where we can pull our hand out and touch each other, but we weren't going anywhere together.
Right, but even in that, I saw a gear, okay, that made me think about that, where we were at, where it's like you're doing this, and so, do you see what I'm saying? It's mm-hmm. like there's just like this little moment where you're here, but it's pulling you away again, and so it felt like now we didn't, and I don't even know what it was. It was
like a misfire.
I don't know if it was just okay.
Like the engine was running and it was okay, and then it would just kind of sputter, and like.
I think we both put our heads down, okay, and just like pushed forward mm-hmm. with everything that was going on. And when you looked up, it was like, why are you like all the way out there?
Yeah, I'm alone.
How did I get all the way out here? And then you're alone. Mm-hmm. And it just felt like everything was pulling us away. And there was no stop to be able to say, hold on, let's catch your breath. Let's, readjust. Everything just demands, So we did have a weekend away. Mm-hmm. And in that weekend away, I felt that a lot of those conversations that were waiting to be had, that was the opportunity where it was like all of a sudden it was like everything did come to a stop. And now it's time to deal with, why does it feel like we're running two different...
On our weekend, it came out.
That's what I'm saying.
And then we resolved at home.
Right.
Because there was an understanding of what was the thing that was going on, that we were running those separate races, but then we came together with it.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what we needed.
And I'm sure that in hindsight, that's exactly what we say about every other time in which there has been a point of struggle in our marriage and our relationship or anything like that. You're like, oh, if this hadn't happened, then we wouldn't have, you know?
And
So,
we've talked about, I think we talked about this before on the chat, in one of the chats, where we had said that, the person that we married, the person that we first got together with, is not the person that we're with now.
and
There's
you know
different
what?
iterations,
And I want to spend a little bit of time on that.
and like it's growing, right? We're changing and growing.
So, in a lot of movies, you'll hear this, but sadly, we have heard this in real life as well, okay? Where one of the spouses will say, you're not the person that I married, or you're not the person I fell in love with, right? And I have always thought, yes, they are still the same person. It's you that just doesn't like them anymore. You've changed and now you want something else, right? But the truth is that yes, you are not the same person. Circumstances and events in your life change you, and maybe the changes are so subtle that the person you live with doesn't notice them until they start feeling different themselves. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, you are not the same person. And that is true. You're not. The point is that a reason not to love each other anymore?
No.
Because if you want to just love
Well, there you go.
and be with
If
the person that
if you want.
right, if you just
Because-
want to be with that person that you married with in the beginning, then that means that you never wanted that person to grow or change or do anything, which we all need to. You can marry the most wonderful person in the world, but life is going to do things to you that make you stronger, that show you what you're made out of, like all that stuff. You cannot stay the person that you were.
Yeah, and we've discussed the last 2.5 years now, have been very difficult for us. They have been very challenging for us. So, again, some of those spots have caught us off guard, and we needed to adjust on our end for it to work. And I think probably in the last 2.5 years, there's probably been 2 or 3 versions of us. Like I feel like a computer where we keep on getting these little updates, and like we just keep changing for
But
real.
it's like an Apple update. You know how they always send the update, and then shortly thereafter they send one with patch
With
to
the
all
patches,
of their bugs.
So yeah,
And so we've been very buggy.
yeah, we've been very buggy. So there's all these little patches that keep coming in, and that has been our life for the last couple years, and I don't know. It like we talked about. It's the pressure cooker. It's kind of what it's been, and the last few months have really put a stress on those things, and a lot of it has come up.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, even the way we spend our time in the evenings, even just everything have changed. So, even to how we had changed the way that we were eating, a lot of it has also been like, we just rather just get some olives and just like the minimal stuff. Just what do we need to do to survive? Because it's just that stressful. And it's hard what we're doing, because running a business that's growing exponentially takes a lot out of you. And then going to school in the capacity that Ketmia is going is draining in itself. So, yeah, we're running ourselves ragged. But we're getting there. We're now in the same race.
Yeah. And there has been a lot of, I feel personally for me, there's a lot of, I want to use the word trepidation, but I feel like that's too fancy. But there's been a lot of hesitancy. There we go. On my part, mixed with a little bit of maybe fear of how much stress is too much stress.
Why wouldn't trepidation work?
No, because I don't know that people understand what the meaning. Not everybody will understand what trepidation is.
Here it is. Trepidation. A feeling of fear or agitation about something that may happen.
There you go. There you go. That's exactly why I wanted to say trepidation. Perfect. So, yes. How much pressure is too much pressure? Right?
And is too much pressure bad?
Well, that's the thing. So there's all of these that's why that word is so perfect. May happen. There's these two possible futures, which there's so
Outcomes.
many. There's so many, right? But to just put it in a easy context, there's two possibilities. There's the possibility that we get to the very end and whew, that was hard, but here we are and the future is better for it. Or it's the one where you get to the end, right? And you collapse and you die. You finished the race, but you died. So it's that one thing of, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth it?
Have you seen that guy that ran the marathon?
And died?
No, he didn't die.
Get the way that you say stories sometimes, I just jump ahead.
People don't always have to die.
You remember that guy who was in the movie? He died. I say that to you because you give me this long story.
Whatever. So this guy, he ran. He wanted to do a marathon, and he put his entire everything into it. He wanted to do like a 26-mile marathon, one of the big ones. Race day finally came, but he had pushed himself so much, okay, that he ran 25.88 miles. He was close enough to see the finish line, and he collapsed. His muscles would not allow him to finish. So he never finished the race. He got no credit because he had to be taken off of the course on a stretcher. So the 0.12 miles, you're talking about, what is that? 300 feet? 200 feet? Whatever it is. He could see the finish line. He didn't make it across the finish line. So he gave everything he had the entire time to not even be able to be satisfied in, like, if you collapse at the end of it and you pass at least the finish line, like, you're going to recover. Okay, cool. At least I finished. Goodness gracious. That would be horrific.
So there is an example of you pushed yourself beyond the capacity of something that you cannot control, because the will to make it to the end was there, but his body could physically not carry out what his will wanted.
The video is hilarious, by the way.
I mean,
sorry.
It's actually very sad.
It's hilarious. I'm sorry. Like, call me what you want to call me, but I laughed so hard. He looked like a baby giraffe that was just born and was trying to walk.
Poor thing.
His legs were flopping and flipping and flooping all over the place, and he was falling on the floor.
Oh my gosh.
Just to the point where, like, he was just done. He just sat there and just gave up.
I mean, so to bring it back, right? It's one of those where I see the stress that it's causing, right? I myself don't even know what is waiting for me. I remember one of the first things that I told you is I have no idea what to expect from clinicals. It seems like it should be easier, but somehow it just didn't feel like that. Plus, we missed this part. I had a really rough time at clinicals.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone at the school told us, you're going to love clinicals, right? And to clarify, there are aspects of clinicals that I loved, but when you sell it like that, it sounds like the entire experience is going to be one that you will love. In fact, they said you are not going to want to come to school. You're going to want to stay there. It's going to be really hard when you have to come back to school for 4 months. When in fact, it was not just myself, but 5 other people in my class who we all experienced this. We cannot wait to go back to school.
Well,
Clinicals was not what we expected it to be. It was
excel.
not because it was hard. It was just a major, major adjustment to something that was, it was like, I don't know, being thrown in the deep end of the ocean with sharks. And it's
excel.
like, learn how to swim here.
You excel so well in school that you're not in a school setting. You're now in a work setting without the experience of using the machines. It was your first time going in and doing, these x-rays and all this stuff that you were doing. And to top it all off, they put you with the guy who they said was the toughest. Like that has something to be said about you, right? And then you went in there, and I'll say it the way I feel it is, but I think you broke him, because at the end of it,
My professor says that as well.
yeah,
Those exact same words.
like you broke the guy that they said was impossible to break, and he at the end was a really cool guy, really difficult to deal with, had his things, but I mean, I think you kicked butt in clinicals, and it was hard because you had to not only deal with what you had to do, but you also had to deal with a very difficult personality.
Plural.
Ladies.
Plural.
Personalities.
I'm saying, yeah, because then it's like you said, I think I've been in the workforce in many different aspects of it, right? And I know the experience of being the new employee at a place, right? But when you look around, even though you're new, these are your colleagues, these are your coworkers. You are on equal ground with them, except you're new, right? Mm-hmm. And after you've been there 2-3 weeks, you're part of the team. Being in clinicals, it doesn't feel like you're part of a team.
Well, because
you're a student,
because you're leaving,
and you're like free work,
right?
So
and even you even said it where on the last week they were you guys were starting to talk about, next week he's like, I'm gonna have to start all over again, and his comment about you was the fact that you did so much more than what other students have done, because this is a place where one student comes in and one student leaves, another student comes in and then they leave, and it's just rotation in and out. But it had gotten to the point where you were doing so much that it made their work easier, which is essentially what it should be like. But a comment that he made to you that you said to me was that once the students get the requirements,
they take a back seat.
They just take a back seat, And I think that maybe that was one of the reasons why he waited so long to give out comps, because he was playing the game of, having these students last longer. Mm. But you were done with comps fairly quickly.
Compared to what? Yes.
Compared to what it was. And you never stopped. You were, to the last day that you were there, working as if you were getting paid. So that has a lot to say about you.
Well, thank you for that. But I think that also contributes to why it was difficult to just feel like it doesn't matter that I've been here 2 months. I'm not part of this team. These are not my colleagues. Not that I didn't want them to be, but that isn't how you are viewed. Mm-hmm. So it's difficult. It's like you don't find your place. And worse, when we go back through clinicals, we're not going back to the same site where you've established rapport with people. They know how you work. They remember,
You've
hey,
learned how they work.
exactly, right? So it's very hard. It's very hard. And for maybe there's people who love, oh, I come in, I leave, and I guess that's why traveling techs, they like what they do. They don't really want to be part of a team. They just go in, do their job, and they leave, right? I like that. I enjoy feeling like I'm part of a team. I like knowing my team. I like knowing how to help my team, all of that stuff. So for me, it was not the experience I thought it was going to be, which then, if mentally and emotionally I am strained, add to that the fact that you still have to do schoolwork, right? When you're home, when you're supposed to be resting, when we're supposed to be spending time together. And then a couple weeks in, my grandmother unexpectedly died.
Oh, yeah. Goodness, I completely forgot about that.
And now I have an unexpected situation in a time where I am stressed beyond belief. I was crying on my way to clinicals for the first couple weeks because of the dread I would feel about going in. And that's before anything happened to my grandmother. So then you add that, and
then
now I
your
have
mom-
a devastated mother.
Yeah. And
who
then your
comes
mom
down.
came and stayed with us for a little while.
For just the time that she was there. And like, even my grandmother's passing was difficult.
And
It
then-
wasn't I didn't find it peaceful. It
Well,
was difficult. It was a difficult passing.
It's a different time now. It's not like before. Before it was like the funeral would happen and people would get together and people would reminisce and then on top of that you weren't able to go to the funeral because you got sick.
Super sick. Super
Like,
sick.
So much so I think you missed 4 days of clinicals or yeah, something like that, right?
Yeah, and I'm not a person to miss. Like, I
Yeah.
have been to school sick.
And I don't know how in the world I didn't get sick during that time. It was just compounded.
But then I was sick for 6 weeks afterwards.
You ended up with bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that.
And in all of that, still putting in 100% at clinicals, still getting good grades at school. Like, that takes a lot from you. And then it's just like, I felt like I didn't even have a moment to grieve with my mom.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. It's just like life keeps going. And it's just like,
right.
the treadmill is going. And if you stop running, you're going to fall and you're going to eat it.
So, and not to continue to just bring up stuff, but we haven't seen our kids.
We were supposed to, remember?
Yeah.
We were supposed to see them for Memorial Day weekend. And we were not able to go. And that was so hard for me. And I have felt throughout the last
for Memorial and then for 4th of July.
Oh, yeah.
So, like...
Yeah, all of these plants that have just not... And they have not been able to come down because they're having major car problems over there. Their car is just basically to get them to and from where they need to go.
Yeah. And they're working, Dothy's working full-time. Nikki's working a lot. Mike is, like, MIA because he graduates in 2 weeks. And he's trying to get a final project put together. So, like, it's not because we don't want to. It's because we can't.
Right.
It's just things are just that crazy.
So all of these little things, I personally feel like if I spend just more than 60 seconds thinking about it, I feel like I'm so overwhelmed with emotions, right? And I know I can't do anything about it because that's just what it is. So I feel like everything that happens, I look at it and I'm like, okay, I can't deal with you right now. And it's just like, just throw it in there, right? So, of course, when you and I are not running together, like together,
It's salt in the wound.
it destabilizes the only thing that is holding everything together. If we're not okay, then it's like there's the very foundation of everything is just cracking. Because I feel like without your support, then I have nothing. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's when you start talking about everything, you're like, whoa, a lot has happened in the last few months that we've just said, okay, that happened. We just have to keep going. And when you look at it from here back, you're thinking, of course, you're going to pop at some point. But when you're in it, I think you're just saying, like, please don't pop yet. Let me just get to this. So now I know what to expect for my second clinical rotation. I think you know what to expect from it. And it doesn't change the fact that it's going to be extremely difficult.
No, but when you go in with...
You brace yourself differently. Yeah. That's the thing.
You strap in differently.
Yes. Yeah. You know, and it's very important also that we preserve our time and our space. That's super important, because if I get an hour with you during clinicals, that's wow, we are being showered with blessings from above. An hour.
If I don't fall asleep in that hour.
And sometimes it's me falling asleep.
Yeah, because it's a late night hour. So it's not like, oh, we're going to sit down.
And then time is compressed on that side too.
Right.
It's not like, oh, let's stay up until midnight. No, because I'm falling asleep driving there. You know? I mean, definitely this is a lot harder than I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be academically difficult. Mentally, it was going to be stressful. But
there's a physical aspect that you're not kind of ready for.
Right. I know.
And we were talking about this yesterday, I think, or the day before, where you said that one of the girls from one of the previous groups decided to go into a very prestigious program, I guess, right? Was that a good way to describe it? Into a program that there's only one person in Florida that has graduated from this program, and this girl is, or woman or whatever, is going into this program. And I told Ketmia that I feel that she would
20 years younger.
Yeah, if she were 20 years younger, I would tell her to go for it, because I think she would do such an amazing job. Because
and it's interesting because
she herself has been what was the word you used?
Surprised?
You were surprised.
Yeah.
Of what you're capable of. So
I'm still surprised. I text my family updates every week. Okay, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm doing.
I'm still alive. I'm not dead.
No, just like how I'm doing in class, or
I'm still
commendation.
alive. I'm not dead.
I guess, right? And it's just like it has been surprising for me. But it's interesting now that you bring it up again, then I think about it, I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done it 20 years ago.
Why?
Because 20 years ago, I was a brand new mom to 2 little kids. And I do not regret for 1 second the fact that I chose to put
absolutely
anything that I wanted to do for myself, that I chose to put it on hold to be a stay-at-home mom with them.
What I'm saying is, if it was 20 years ago and this is the path that we were in, I would say to do it. But I would not change a thing.
I adore the fact that I got to do that.
And if you're new to our chat, go back. It's in season 1, stories where we talk about how we met and how we got together and our kids and what we did with our kids and all that kind of stuff. You've got epicodes.
Epicodes.
That's a new word.
That's good.
Yeah. You have episodes galore. I was going into galore, but I don't know.
But there's no C in galore.
I know, but I'm special, so
Okay.
it's galore.
Do you like confuzzled?
Is that confused and befuddled?
No, but that's a good try.
Confused?
I'm confused and my brain feels fuzzy. I'm confuzzled.
Confuzzled. Is that something you use with the girls?
No, it's something that Nikki told me.
Do the girls know about the chat? They don't know about the chat?
Nope.
I may spill the beans.
No, I'm going to spill the beans when we graduate.
Well, that'll be good.
Yeah.
That'll give them something fun to go back
If
and...
you want to keep in touch.
Yeah. Hey, if you guys want to hear us talking about you.
Oh, man. But, yeah. It's been a lot.
Yeah.
But it
here
feels
we
like
are.
the storm has ended. The clouds have dissipated. The sun is out.
And we still don't have a pool.
No. Or a hot tub.
Yeah. We should get at least a hot tub, right? It
I
would
mean,
be,
and-
you know how nice it would be right now
Right now.
to go out there?
With a drink.
Yeah. Don't make me sad. It's my only day off this week.
I know.
Anyways, well, we're back, and this was fun. I'm glad we did this today.
I am too.
So come join us next week, and we will have more stories. And if it's not next week, it'll be the week after. But
The week after, it's Mikey's graduation. We shall be gone.
well, we'll be here. You guys will be able to get more stories from us and us talking and chatting about stuff. And yeah, if you have not heard all of our previous episodes, there's like, what is it?
Listen to
like
the
60?
introductory episode to our chat. What was that, like a minute, 2 minutes long?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like
You get a little glimpse of what we do here.
yeah, we have like 60 something episodes and
And
or whatever.
I repeat. This is the best gift that we are leaving our children and our grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
That they can hear us talking candidly about life, about the past, the dreams, like everything.
Yeah,
you know?
we're not trying to get famous from this, but if there's a sponsor out there that wants to give me a pool,
Like Run Style. I mean,
Oh.
no, I was saying sponsor like Run Style.
oh, I'll take Grunt Style. Heck yeah. I wear enough of their shirts.
Yeah, I know.
It's the only thing
You're
I wear.
a model for them,
I am.
but you don't get featured or paid.
Well, my photographer likes to take the same exact picture where she catches me with a weird face.
You don't like to take pictures. I have to sneak up on you.
Oh, so the weird face is just my face.
Wow, I can't speak for that.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for joining us.
Yes.
And we look forward to coming and sharing some more stories.
Till next time.
All right. Goodbye now.
Bye.